There's a lot of talk about plastic pollution in our oceans, but have you heard about the bacteria that eat plastic? Researchers are exploring whether these organisms can help clean up our discarded plastic waste. Most plastics are made from polymers, molecules whose structures are long chains of repeating units. The most common polymer in plastic is called polyethylene terephthalate, or PET for short. And the most common plastic-eating bacteria is called Ideonella sakaiensis. That's a mouthful. So I'll just call it I. sakaiensis. It was discovered in 2012 in a plastic-rich landfill in Japan. But it turns out that there are lots of different kinds of plastic-eating bacteria. Most of them seem to be found in marine environments, although some researchers believe they might be more widespread. Like any organism, bacteria that eat plastic need to break it down into smaller components in order to use it as food. Some do this by secreting enzymes that break the bonds between the molecules in the plastic, allowing them to absorb the resulting monomers or small chains of molecules. Others digest the plastic whole, although we don't know exactly what happens inside their cells. We're still figuring out the details of how these bacteria use plastic as an energy source. But why would they eat plastic in the first place? After all, there are plenty of other organic compounds in the ocean that are much more nutritious than plastic, like phytoplankton, the tiny algae that float in the water. One idea is that the plastic-eating bacteria aren't actually eating the plastic because they want to. They're doing it because they have to. For example, the enzymes used by I. sakaiensis to break down PET are only active in the presence of certain chemicals that are also found in seawater. This suggests that the bacteria may have evolved to use plastic as a nutrient source, because it is only in environments with high concentrations of those chemicals, like in the ocean, that those enzymes would work in the first place. And since plastic is everywhere now, that means that plastic-eating bacteria could thrive pretty much anywhere, even inside our bodies. In 2021, researchers found that one of these bacteria, Halomonas SPH21, was a normal part of the human microbiome, the community of microbes that live in and on our bodies. This particular microbe was found in the guts of healthy individuals who don't suffer from any sort of digestive issues. But why it's there or what it does in our bodies is still unknown. Maybe it helps us digest the plastic that sometimes makes its way into our food supply. Studies have found that plastic particles less than half a millimeter across, called microplastics, are present in more than 90% of bottled water and in the cells and tissues of many fish species. And it's likely that we eat some of these microplastics when we eat seafood. If so, having some plastic-eating bacteria in our guts might be a good thing. Whether or not these bacteria actually do anything for us, though, we can definitely do something for them. Scientists have been working on ways to harness their powers to clean up the environment. One promising approach is to engineer bacteria to produce enzymes that break down specific types of plastics more efficiently, or to make those enzymes more active at lower concentrations. Another strategy is to combine the efforts of multiple bacterial species so that together they can break down a wider range of plastics. In the lab, cocktails of 2 or 3 different bacteria have been shown to degrade plastics much faster than single-species cultures. And in 2020, researchers reported that a group of 8 bacteria working together could break down 90% of the major types of plastic in just over a month. So it looks like these bacteria have a lot to offer, but will they really save our oceans? Well, there are a lot of hurdles to overcome before we can use bacteria to clean up real-world plastic pollution. For one thing, the conditions in the lab are very different from the real world. For example, in the ocean, bacteria compete with each other for limited resources, and they also have to contend with changes in temperature, salinity, and oxygen availability. But if engineered bacteria prove to be as hardy and adaptable as the naturally occurring ones, then maybe someday soon these tiny organisms will gobble up all our discarded plastic, and the ocean will be a little bit cleaner and safer for all of us. So do you have any ideas for how we can help the bacteria clean up the plastic? Let us know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.